Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Gwendlyn Brown, the daughter of Christine and Kody Brown, made one sharp, unflinching statement that ended the self-imposed monarchy of Kody and Robyn Brown and shattered the Brown family's decades-long illusion of harmony. Sister Wives viewers witnessed Kody's gradual but undeniable descent into favoritism, manipulation, and emotional abandonment for years. In addition, they witnessed the growing divide between the original wives and Robyn, the so-called favorite wife. However, it wasn't until Gwendlyn, Kody's often overlooked, fiercely intelligent, and emotionally honest daughter, stood up and said a simple, unfiltered sentence that the entire fanbase, and possibly even the Brown family members who had remained silent, realized that the power balance had finally shifted. They were only interested in control, they claimed. That statement. In a candid YouTube Q&A, Gwendlyn revealed a devastating truth that completely dismantled every narrative that Kody and Robyn had carefully crafted over the years. Even though Kody has been the target of criticism in the past, this wasn't just a fan attacking him. Blood was on this. This was his daughter recognizing that his entire relationship with Robyn was not based on love but dominance, on a power grab disguised as romance. Every time Robyn wept over being misunderstood, every time she played victim in confessionals, and every time Kody said she was the only loyal wife, everything suddenly made sense. Robyn wasn't just loved more. She was complicit in the destruction of sisterhood, which was now being called out by younger generations as tyranny within polygamy. The sentence became widely known. Reddit went crazy. Reactions from TikTok poured in. Fans who had waited so long for Robyn's tears and Kody's righteous monologues to appear finally received validation from the family. Gwendlyn spoke not only for herself, but also for all of the daughters who had to watch their mother suffer in silence. She spoke on behalf of each and every sibling who was witness to their father focusing his affections and investments on a single family tree while neglecting the others. His daughter's words tore through that illusion like a knife through silk, but Kody had spent years branding himself as a misunderstood patriarch doing his best in a complex family model. And Robyn, 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 who had always been protected by Kody's defenses. Protected in every argument, Robyn was shown to be the silent enabler of emotional manipulation and the destruction of plural unity in Gwendlyn's calm but thunderous sentence instead of the peacemaker she claimed to be. Gwendlyn spoke up before Christine had even left. The family disintegrated due to disloyalty or separate goals, promoted by Kody and frequently echoed by Robyn, despite Janelle's retreat and Mary's years of ghosting. However, when Gwendlyn peeled back the curtain, it became abundantly clear that the fall was not an accident. It was planned out. Kody was not asking for mutual understanding when he screamed about respect. Rather, he was demanding obedience. When Robyn spoke in a broken voice about wanting family harmony, she was really saying that she wanted her definition of a family, one in which she and her children were the center, and everyone else sat quietly in orbit around them. Gwendlyn broke the silence not with drama or rage, but rather with the truth. And an honest heir poses the greatest threat to a fragile kingdom. There was a reason why it was dubbed Gwendlyn's checkmate by fans. It wasn't just a remark. It was at this point that the mute rebellion became evident. Kody's retaliation was predictable: deflection, hurt ego, and a vain attempt to portray Gwendlyn as young and confused. However, viewers were no longer supporting it. This was the same man who claimed that when his children disagreed with him, he didn't feel safe around them. The same man who rarely showed loyalty, but demanded it. He also didn't like the way his own daughter was holding a mirror up to his face. Robyn was said to be deeply hurt by Gwendlyn's words, but she never offered a public rebuttal, as she usually kept the media quiet unless she was in TLC confessionals. Maybe she was aware that there was nothing to say. The attempt to conceal the truth would only intensify the scrutiny, which already existed. Instantaneously, Other siblings began to softly echo Gwendlyn's sentiment, triggering the domino effect. His sister's assessment was supported by Paydon, who was already known for his brutal honesty. Isabel posted cryptic messages about healing through honesty, always quiet and in the background. Even Savannah, Janelle's typically reserved daughter, liked posts praising Gwendlyn's bravery. The Brown children were becoming aware and speaking out one by one. Insiders said that the betrayal left Kody devastated, especially because he thought Gwendlyn would be more neutral. However, neutrality ceases to exist when the harm becomes personal. Gwendlyn, who had once defended her father in earlier interviews, had clearly reached her limit. There was only so long one could remain silent as she watched her mother suffer, her siblings be left out, and the fan base paint Robyn as the martyr while the rest of the family fell apart. Additionally, she spoke with years of experience behind her. Despite its briefness, the sentence contained a history. It talked about birthdays that were forgotten, texts that were never answered, favoritism, gaslighting, and a home where love came with conditions. Gwendlyn's sentence was also their vindication for fans who had long suspected the truth but had not received any confirmation. The reverberations reportedly shook TLC producers. As a result of Gwendlyn's comment dominating online discussions, Season 20 had a new focus, the reckoning of generational trauma rather than just the breakdown of plural marriage. Can Kody recover from this? Robyn, could you? Who stayed, or what no longer mattered? It was about who had the courage to tell the truth and who kept going back to the story. Gwendlyn had done something that no one else had accomplished. She had revealed the truth with just one line. There was just a quiet explosion of clarity that changed everything. There was no shouting match, screaming meltdown, or public feud. Gwendlyn's fans began pleading for her own spin-off. She had grown to be more than just a supporting character in the Brown family story. Now, she was the voice of the next generation, the one who was not afraid to tear down the curtain that Robyn and Kody had been hiding behind for so long. In the meantime, Christine is said to be pleased with her daughter's honesty. She was aware of the cost of speaking up, which frequently meant being portrayed as bitter, irate, or unstable. However, Christine was also aware of the liberation that came from finally speaking what no one else was afraid to say. Gwendlyn had also inherited that strength in many ways. The difference was that Christine had experienced it firsthand. It was now being rejected by Gwendlyn. Her social media was inundated with support from fans who thanked her for validating the pain they had seen on screen for years and praised her for her bravery. Gwendlyn had transformed from Christine's quirky and sharp-witted daughter to the whistleblower, the truth-teller, and the one who finally put the dysfunction into words. Kody and Robyn were rumored to be working on their image for an upcoming book or docuseries centered on their version of healing after the family fallout, so the timing was especially devastating for them. But when your own children are contradicting you with hard facts and real-life experiences, how do you tell your side of the story? Their narrative suddenly lost momentum. Instantly, the raw honesty overcame the meticulously edited footage. Kody and Robyn had no idea that Gwendlyn was going to call checkmate. They might have underestimated her. They might have thought that the younger generation, who had grown up following Kody's rules, would keep quiet out of respect or fear. However, they were unprepared for the fact that the silence had transformed into rage, and rage had transformed into resolve. Fans now view the upcoming episodes with fresh eyes. Robyn's every tear is examined once more. Kody's monologues are examined in detail. Chasms have emerged from the facade's cracks. What about Gwenda? She doesn't look back. She broke the Brown family's code of emotional control, favoritism, and a self-destructive hierarchy in just one sentence. She liberated herself as well as a large number of fans who were left feeling betrayed by years of manipulated storylines by exposing the truth beneath the TLC polish. Rake was not the focus of Checkmate. It dealt with the truth. Everything will never be the same after this point.